Hi everybody, this is Josh Ford running for the 2018 U.S. Senate race against Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts. Came here today on this unfortunately dreary Monday afternoon to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. It's a somber day, really. It's one of those times you're supposed to think about the ones that we've lost in the military over all the branches and why they've sacrificed themselves for us. You know, we all like to believe that they've sacrificed their lives and their well-being with the best of intentions for us, and I'm sure that's how it is. They go to war looking out for their brothers and sisters in arms. They go to war looking out for you and me here at home. And when they lose their lives, it's something that we have to remember, and we do have to take a moment to just realize how much they gave up for you and me. And the problem with that now, we still have these unending wars. We've been at war since, 9/11, before that, it just keeps rolling. It's because our country is no longer a democracy. We live in an oligarchy, and part of that is the control of the big banks, which profit off of wars. The big oil, which uses our military to get oil wherever they want it, whenever they want it, which is why we're destroying Syria right now over oil pipelines. Or when we hired Black Hawk mercenaries, military personnel, to go to North Dakota to beat on the Native Americans and our own veterans who stood up bravely to these overwhelming militarized armed forces that were used to beat their way through the people, to force an oil pipeline down everybody's throat. So why are our soldiers still sacrificing themselves? That's what you need to ask yourself. And they're sacrificing themselves because we haven't got the word out enough that we no longer control our country. And the mainstream media doesn't tell us. So it's up to you and I right now to make sure we get the word out to younger generations. They need to know that enlisting is a bad plan. That they're not fighting for freedom and democracy. They're not fighting to make us safer anymore. That hasn't happened since World War II. Okay? So right now they're fighting and dying to profit the 1%. That's the military-industrial complex, from Raytheon to GE. It's big money. And we're sacrificing our youth to go to war against the youth of little nations throughout the Middle East that really can't stand up against us. And it's pathetic because we actually prop up the terrorist organizations in these countries and arm them, so we have the excuse to go overseas and attack these countries. And then our media doesn't tell us the truth, and they try to distract us with, false flag events, from the terrorist attacks. I mean, you hear about it. I go by the newspaper racks, the supermarket where I live here in Kingston, and I look and you read, Boston Herald terrorist attacks, and because I've seen that at least some of these attacks have been false, have been faked. I can't take them seriously. You look at the news in an entirely different way once you realize that our media doesn't tell us the truth anymore. So, you see these terrible, horrific things that, one person who doesn't know is going to look and be horrified. Oh my God, the terrorists are so bad, they're killing children. And then I look at it and I go, how bad is our government that this is the lie they're telling us to keep us going to war, to keep sacrificing our youth, the youth of this country, to go to war. And they force these kids to go to war because you can either enlist to get out of your economic problem to try and find advancement, which really doesn't get you anywhere. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but it's a tough spot that you put into, and that's done intentionally. There's a reason why there are certain areas of the country where enlistment is so high, and they do so well with enlisting people because economically they've devastated the area. So you can either join the military to get out of there, or you can sell drugs and spend your life in jail. And that's certainly an option that has been forced upon people. And I actually think that that's one of the things that is done intentionally. They want drugs on our streets. They want to make sure that you're too messed up, either on drugs or alcohol, to be able to fight back. You've got your social problems like that. You've got your mainstream media that lies to you. We're in a really bad way. And one of the reasons I decided to run for the U.S. Senate was to stop these wars. These wars have to be stopped. We have to stop killing people and sacrificing our own soldiers for the profit of the 1%. We're a mess over here. We need our veterans and our soldiers to step up over here in the United States and say we're not going to fight for the oligarchy anymore, for the profit of the 1%. We need to take back freedom and democracy here in the United States before we even consider going overseas to bring freedom or the latest oil pipeline, as it should be stated. We've got a lot of work to do, and I can't stand how much it bothers me that we're sacrificing our soldiers to profit the 1%. And then here we are today, our media won't tell you that these wars are only to profit the 1%. And so the cycle of violence and death will continue. So, I have nothing but respect, the deepest respect of our soldiers that, they enlist because they want to either better themselves or they want to protect our country, our way of life. But our way of life hasn't existed in a while. It's a big lie. So if you're considering enlisting, I'm going to tell you not to. Not until we take back our country here. We have to remove the corrupt two-party system, the Republicans and the Democrats, that are controlled by these big money interests, and they're a puppet show. It's a soap opera. The more you start paying attention to politics, the more you realize these people aren't there for your benefit and mine. They're there to benefit themselves, to try to profit themselves, and to do the bidding of big money interests from, as I've said, the military-industrial war complex to big oil and the big banks, all these people that make a ton of money off of the misery and death in this country, and the misery and death that we unleash upon the world. This is not the way the world has to be. We can make this world a better place. If we turn around and we start using the military technology and equipment that we have today as a socialist use to find ways to just take care of people and benefit people and make this world a better place, oh my God. The difference in this world, overnight, we could transform this country. We could transform this planet. But it's going to take willpower and strength, because power never gives up anything without demand. You have to demand change. I'm demanding change. That's why I'm running for U.S. Senate, and I need your help to do it. So from now to 2018, when you go to the election booth and you vote for Joshua Ford against Elizabeth Warren, spread the word. It's about the future of rebuilding democracy. It's about taking our country back. It's about making things right everywhere. It's enough with the drugs on the streets. It's enough with the alcohol and the unending wars. We got to do away with it. We can do better. All the way around. And we're going to do it together. So this is Josh Ford, run for the 2018 U.S. Senate race against Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts. Thank you for your time. Please share this video.